I'm gonna open this. I'm
I'm
gonna open it first so I don't crack it on the thing. And just one little sip prior because let's do this thing, bro.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. I just gotta get rid of that headache. Headache's gone.
You need some painkillers? I have some myself.
Nah, I'm all right. But the little quips, like you said, I gotta be ready for them this time because I know they're coming.
And I gotta respond. Like, I can't let
busted out the watch today.
Yeah, I thought about doing my just like my normal Garmin watch, but I wanted to have a little style for the game tonight.
There you go.
So it's a world timer.
Yeah, it's cool.
So like it's got that there.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And then I can cycle through. I don't know how to use my own watch. So there's Denver.
Oh.
London time zone.
Arizona.
No, actually, I realized it's off because they're 3 hours behind right now. So Arizona doesn't use daylight savings time. That's why. So like this time of the year.
That's weird.
When we're on daylight savings time.
Yeah, we're on. We are, right?
Yeah, I think this is the time of the year when we're actually on. So they're 3 hours behind, but then when we switch off later in the year,
yeah,
then it's 2 hours behind because they just stay the same all the time.
Why does everyone got to be so complicated?
I think,
shout out Avril. Is that Avril Lavigne who sings that?
Man, I was probably like a fake Avril Lavigne fan.
Yeah,
because I probably knew like her popular songs.
I only knew Skater Boy.
I definitely didn't know that one.
That's like her biggest one.
Man, I'm trying to think did she do a song? I think she did a song in one of the Narnia movies. I think that honestly might be how I
really became
acquainted with Avril Lavigne.
I don't know. It's not like I was listening to her every day. It's just Skater Boy came out on the radio. It was on like crazy.
I was more Evanescence.
Yeah.
I really
Bring Me to Life.
I really liked that one.
Yeah. There's a lot of good dad rock bangers.
Oh,
I'm listening to it like crazy lately. A lot of dad rock, like a lot of Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace. Seether Will Come On. I was listening to Nickelback earlier.
Wow, Nickelback.
I know. And like I'm not even really
look at this photograph.
I'm not even really like a Nickelback fan.
Yeah.
But he has a song called Far Away.
Okay.
And like I don't know what it was, but it came on and I was just like when you start going like that,
oh yeah,
I was like, why is this song hitting harder?
And you just start getting into it, 100%.
Yeah, it was like hitting harder than normal, but that's all the stuff I grew up listening to all the time was like rock, punk rock.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you that, like Blink-182, Sum 41, Simple Plan. What's the other big one? Not Panic at the Disco. All American Rejects.
Okay.
They're another big one. All those bands are like big for me. Like even now I still listen to them.
Yeah.
To be honest, but
it's interesting. So I grew up listening to classical music. That's when
Did we start?
Oh yeah, we're just vibing.
Oh, we started.
Yeah, I honestly I figured we were talking and I was like, might as well just put this as part of the pod.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I was like, are we live? Are we live,
live
or what? Okay. I thought about subtly adding an intro to this because I notice how every time it's just me going, okay, so we're back. But that is the intro.
Do you want to keep that as the intro or should we do an actual intro?
No, that's pretty us.
Okay, yeah.
So
welcome back.
We're back with, what is this technically going to be up? Technically it's going to be episode 9? Because
maybe
7's out. And
yeah, I guess if we add some of 8, we'll probably just plug it into 9.
Yeah. So
we'll have to see what happens there. Let's figure out how we want to edit that.
To bring everyone up to speed, we have a chunk that might not be put out to the public.
Yeah.
Because I think there was just some things that were discussed that nowadays I think people just get too uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
And or offended. So If you're close to us, like if you know us IRL, we'll send it to you.
Yeah, just ask, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
but
private.
I can't put that out there because there's some stuff that I just say that I'm just like, I probably shouldn't have said that.
It's hard because, I mean, we talked about this after recording that one, how it was probably just, it was a lot of just real talk between bros.
Yeah.
So it's not as if any of it was bad per se.
Yeah. It was more so just like, I think I let a bad experience with a woman get to me. Everyone goes through a breakup.
He'll do it to you sometimes.
Yeah, everyone goes through a breakup, and you know, like I've kind of mentioned it before, but my ex was just like not the greatest. So I kind of had like, I think sometimes like when your feelings get into it and you can just be sour about stuff, it's like then I'm going at girls like crazy. And it's just to kind of bring it back full circle. There are amazing women out there.
Oh yeah. 100%.
And there are also bad guys out there.
Yep.
Like that was kind of something that we hit on in that episode is there are some dudes out there that are not good guys.
Oh yeah.
You know, that treat
100%.
girls terrible, that I totally like just don't align with. I'm like, women are beautiful. They are just beautiful creations from God.
Yes.
And we have to tend the garden and be there for them and take care of them. And I would love to do that with a girl that is pursuing the Lord. And I can't, I'm Lord willing, I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah. Amen to that.
You know, but I tried with my last girlfriend and it just didn't go well. And she broke up with me twice. Okay. So like, that's kind of what happened. And she just
I thought you broke up with her the second time.
So the first time we broke up, she broke up with me and I was distraught. The second time we broke up, I like kind of broke up of like, I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Okay.
And then I was like,
when she sealed the deal,
she was like, I was like weird with the conversation because I don't think I could have let it go. Okay. I think I was like having a hard time letting it go. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I want to leave. Like, what if I'm making a mistake and all this stuff, even though like God straight up answered me with that numerous times. And I was like, I'll try to work it out. I'll see what I can do. And when I tried to lean back in, she was like, no, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
So the reason I was going to leave is because she pulled some crazy stuff on Valentine's Day. And,
yeah, she did.
Yeah. And I was just like, I'm not dealing with that. So that happened. And it is what it is. I prayed about it. The Lord answers like he always does.
100%.
And I'm moving on. And like I said, I prayed for her. I wished her the best. And that's in the past. And
yeah,
blessings on blessings lately. I'm just grateful for the Lord. I'm grateful for community. And I wish her the best, but I'm past it. And so I just let a bad experience with a girl, I think, kind of deter
the conversation.
Yeah, that episode. Yeah. And I said some things that I'm probably just, we're going to leave that out.
It's totally fair. So I guess this technically will be episode 9.
Yeah.
Episode 9. But if you want the real episode 8, wait, no.
No, it was going to be...
sorry, this will be episode 9.
No, this will be 9 because there is a chunk...
I'm getting myself confused. Yes. This
will be 9. Without going too deep in the weeds, yes, this will be 9 technically because we have a last chunk from the last pod that we will upload.
That'll be episode 8.
That's pretty tame.
But if you want the real episode 8...
Yeah.
Like the real one.
Yeah, get us 100,000 likes.
yeah. 100 subs and we'll release the real episode 8. I'm kidding.
Man, I'm going to have to go witness protection. So, but yeah, in full circle, there are girls that don't know the Lord and it's obvious.
And there are guys
who don't know the Lord and it's obvious. I'm not saying girls are terrible and guys are cool. No.
Yeah.
Like there are some good, solid men firm in the Lord. And then there's some dudes out there that are terrible. And then there's some sweet, beautiful women that are secure in the Lord, that are awesome.
Yep.
And then you got weeds, like we said, trying to find the rarest rose in a field full of weeds.
Yes.
There's some weeds.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of what happened with that. And it went all over the place. So
good learning process.
Yeah.
You know,
but, Blue Snow Cone. Yeah, back again. Still not sponsored.
Yeah, do you want to do your weekly sponsorship request?
Yeah, C-Bum, like, I don't know what's taking you so long.
Yeah, we know you're watching.
Yeah, I mean...
We know the algorithm has pushed our videos towards your feed.
I can only send so many emails before I'm like,
call so many times.
Are we there yet? Can you send us some free cans? But maybe one day.
That'd be sweet.
I think that'd be dope.
It would be.
So, but we do have some good topics
Oh yeah,
for this episode that's
for
more
sure.
more tame and relatable, and I'm excited to get into it. I think lately this has been something that I think all of us guys have been talking about a lot, just between young adults and just outside of church, things that are just going on in life.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you feel about this whole conversation.
I mean,
Yeah.
the topic we really wanted to talk about today was discipline.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I love the topic of discipline because it aligns so well with who I am just as naturally as a person.
Yeah.
Like I'm a very organized, systematic person. And so the idea of discipline, putting everything in its proper spot, attending to everything, it gels really well with me. My issue is when I latch on so hard that I become inflexible with myself and with life, and then I start shaming myself and guilting myself. So that's a whole different conversation though. But I mean, I think discipline is so important to living a prosperous and healthy life. And I think especially in this day and age, in this culture, where commitment is it's like a swear word to our culture, almost just like the idea of commitment and being consistent with things, being intentional, being disciplined. I mean, if you really want to get anywhere in life, you have to be a disciplined person who's intentional about the way they spend their time, who is intentional about the way they invest themselves in their job or in their friendships or in their spiritual life. Like, it's so important to be able to live a prosperous life. And if you have no discipline, the verse that reminds me of it, it's slightly different, but I think it relates. In Proverbs, it talks about how a person without self-control is a city without walls.
Yeah.
And I think even though it says self-control, you could very easily replace it and say a person without discipline is like a city left without walls.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to end up running in circles your entire life. And you could be 20 years down the line looking at your life going, how did I get here?
Yeah.
It's because you had no discipline.
Yeah. It's funny because that's something else I've noticed rewatching all these is I always start everything I'm about to say with it's funny because I don't know, just ingrained. But I was watching this video of this guy. Have you ever heard of this guy on YouTube called Dry Creek Wrangler School? But his name's Dwayne.
No.
Just a stud. He remember last pod when you were talking about how you grew up watching, what was that one channel you watched?
TV Land,
and you were like, oh, they're cowboys and they're sold.
Yeah.
He is that guy.
Okay.
Like the modern day,
the legit cowboy.
yeah, like every single video he posts, it's just wisdom, and he has a cowboy hat on, huge beard, and he's smoking the fattest cigar.
Really?
Yeah, just like sipping coffee, and he's like got that like deep raspy voice like this, and he's just spitting just straight wisdom.
Okay.
And he was on a interview, and he said that one of the saddest things in life is a 65-year-old teenager.
Yes. Oh, bro, man. I could get on a total soapbox right now.
Yep. And it goes back to what you were saying is what creates one of those.
Yes.
Is a guy who lacks discipline.
Yes.
Who lacks consistency.
Yes.
And they're all over out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're all over out there. I do want to say it's never too late.
Never.
It's never too late to start.
I wish I would have, gotten to the party earlier with discipline and just living a more godly life.
Yeah.
But it's never too late.
It's never too late. Especially people our age group between, I would even drop it down to like 16.
Yeah.
Because 16 is an age where you're starting to come into being a full-on man at 18. All the way up to 30.
Yeah.
Just to keep us in that bracket.
Yes, please.
But if you can identify that now, especially at a young age, you are miles ahead of a lot of
100%.
people out there that think that they already have it figured out.
Yes.
And when he said that, I was like, man, because I instantly thought of someone in my life who fits that.
Okay.
And it is sad.
It is.
Because you look at them and you sit there and you kind of examine and you're like, wow, like they have lacked structure their whole life, but they think that they're ahead just because of their age.
Yes.
but age doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this before, is how I can learn something from a 17-year-old and a 70-year-old.
Yep.
Age does not matter, and true discipline comes from Christ.
Yes.
Because why? He calls us to be a certain man, certain type of man, a certain figure, to lead, to provide, to care, to be strong when needed, but also to be gentle when needed.
Yep.
You're not a psychopath.
Yep. Correct.
You got to find that healthy balance. But you're not going to gain anything in life if you're lacking discipline.
Yes.
We've talked about that in our Manly Morning Bible study, all the way back to Titus 10, all the way back to reading The Men We Need.
Yeah.
Talking about even in Genesis when God gave Adam a simple task of tending the garden.
Yep.
And he blew it.
Yep.
And that was kind of the fall of man.
Mm-hmm.
And look at where we're at now.
Yeah.
With the kind of stuff we deal with.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I was reminded of this professional development seminar I was at when I used to teach more. And she was talking about the just cultural trends over time. And the point that she said that has always stuck out to me is she said that generation after generation after generation, like up into our day and age, younger kids are taking longer to grow up. And so she'd show pictures of these teenagers in the late 20th century smoking cigars.
Yeah.
And they've got kind of like that biker, jagged, I'm cool guy kind of look.
Leather jacket.
Yeah, exactly. The idea of a 13-year-old doing that today and kind of being that quote unquote old is, I think, so foreign to our culture.
Yeah.
And I'm not against per se those cultural trends, but I think the problem is that people are not making the choice to grow up. They're taking longer to grow up and that not making the shift to adulthood where they're taking responsibility for their life and for their career and for their faith walk and for their relationships. And they're just, this isn't like to single these kind of people out, but I think the mantra kind of our culture is just, you just kind of sit in your basement and play video games by yourself your entire life. And that's just your life. Mm-hmm. But there's so much more to life than that. And so I think people actually have to make that decision to grow up so that they don't end up being a 65-year-old teenager.
100%.
This is something I've thought about before. This is kind of this would be a pop culture reference, but Taylor Swift, obviously engaged. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how her songs and her public persona potentially change after getting married. Because I don't listen to a lot of Taylor Swift. Yeah, me neither. But I kind of get the vibe from her music that she's essentially just kind of like a 16-year-old teenager who's like singing all these heartbreak songs over and over and over again. Okay. But if you're going to get married to someone and you're going to commit to that kind of relationship and maybe have kids, like that's a very different life. Yeah. From the I'm a 16-year-old who hasn't really grown up, who's just singing about these heartbreaks all the time. So it's funny, kind of back to what you were saying earlier. I think a lot of the times people like to blame other reasons of why they haven't grown up. Yeah. They use an excuse of, I was raised this way. Mm-hmm. My parents were like this to me, or I went through a bad situation, or I lost someone, or something like that. Yeah. And they use that as a crutch to justify of why they should be excluded from the group of men that they're okay. They don't need to lead. They don't need to grow up. They don't need to have discipline. But I mean, Christ literally goes at laziness as a sin. Even the Proverbs that I think it was just yesterday morning. Yeah. We're talking about how you don't want to be a lazy, worthless person. No, you lazy doers, Yeah, it was literally yesterday. I can't remember which proverb it was. I kind of want to go check now just for the sake of the conversation. I think it was either at the end of 5 or the start of 6. It was at the end of 5. Yeah. Let me pull up the receipts. Yeah, you're right. End of 5.
Yeah, you should read this because it's kind of relative to what we're talking about.
Let's see, where is it? Oh no. Oh, it was 6.
Was it 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Proverbs 5 is all about immoral women, which we
Full
neither
circle.
of us would know nothing about.
Right. Yeah. Never.
So this is Proverbs 6, starting in verse 6. It says, "Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man."
Bro, I love that word sluggard.
Oh, yeah.
It's just funny. And it's fun to say.
It is.
It's great to say. But it's true. We are told we can't be lazy.
Yep.
It kind of ties into what we talked about last week is why your time has purpose.
Yeah.
Why are you here? Because the Savior himself brought you here to fulfill the purpose he has given you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are ignoring that, you are honestly
Wasting
denying
your life away.
You're wasting your life, and you are denying Christ's blessing to you
Yes.
by being lazy.
That's a good point, honestly.
And there's a ton of lazy guys out there that want to avoid things. God's been talking to you for so long, but I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
I'm going to ignore it. I'm just going to keep pushing it away.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the conviction is just going to get stronger and stronger over time.
Yeah.
When God puts something on your heart,
Mm-hmm.
you can feel it, and
Yep.
it is eating at you, and you have to step up and be a man.
Yep.
People make excuses. I think discipline is something you genuinely can only really teach yourself. Nobody, I can't sit here and be like, this is how you do discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can tell you.
Because it's a personal decision.
Yeah, you got to meet God halfway.
Yeah.
If God is calling you to be someone, if God is calling you to say, hey, you are a leader, just like we talked about at the Men's Summit this year, every man is a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Christ calls us to be leaders. He calls us to be men of God, stand up, lead, provide, love, take action, stand strong in your faith. You can say that over and over and over again, and he's going to help you, but you got to meet God halfway.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and just be like, well, I'm going to wake up and discipline's going to be instilled in me tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's not how this works. That's not how this works.
It's not.
You're called to action. Are you going to avoid it, or are you going to man up?
Yeah.
And it's only a matter of time before you're going to just be forced into that position because you can't avoid it forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I have some points I want to make, but you hungry?
Huh?
You hungry?
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
What's funny is
that was a big one.
Yeah, my stomach just yelled. But no, I ate before you came here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe we got some movement.
This is a side note because we sit together, or we sit next to one another commonly at Bible study on Friday mornings.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard, but after I typically will eat a banana on the way there just to have something in my stomach, and then I start drinking coffee when I'm there, and it's just my stomach starts churning because it's just my body is starting the digestion process.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been there on a Friday morning and you just hear my stomach every few minutes or so just kind of
Honestly, I'm usually so tired Friday mornings. The only thing I hear is
ringing
my
in
pillow.
your ears.
Yeah. The only thing I hear is I don't even know. There's days where I'm sitting there and like I said before, I'm just my soul is in the car.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it out with me today, and I'm rinsed.
Yeah.
But I do have a huge appreciation for the Manly Morning Bible study every Friday, 6 a.m. Be there. Because that is an example of men trying to be more disciplined men.
Yes.
Disciplined in your faith.
You have to make the decision that you're going to get up early on a Friday morning.
Yep.
And if you're not a young adult, the decision to go to bed early the night prior. you have to make the decision that you're going to read every single day or most of the days of the week they're reading. Like those are all disciplined choices that you have to make.
We have a lot of things that we talk about, just you and I, or when we're talking with the other guys, that we kind of say a lot of these sayings. The saying of you have a choice. Mm-hmm. That's like top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Because it's true with anything in life. You have that choice. Every Friday morning, you're tired.
Yep.
Because for people that don't know us personally, that may stumble across this video, we are in a young adults ministry Thursday nights. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we all like to hang out and talk and chat. And some days we don't get home till 1 a.m.
Yep.
Bible study starts at 6. Mm-hmm. I live a half hour away.
Yep.
I'm getting up on 3.5, 4 hours of sleep at most.
Must be nice.
Yeah. This dude had like an hour and a half one week, and
that week was rough.
It was pretty tough. You got through it.
Yeah. Praise God.
Praise the Lord. But every Friday, you know, the alarm goes off, and I'm like, I could sleep in.
Yeah.
I could skip this part of the day. But what am I gaining from skipping, and what am I missing from not going? You know, I'm gaining nothing. Okay, I get an extra 45 minutes of sleep,
which is really nothing in the grand scheme of things.
No. But I'm missing spending time with the Lord.
Yep.
The community to help me get closer to Him.
Yep.
And learning more about Scripture. Yep. 3 huge things that help you grow in your faith.
Yep.
And you have 100%. That choice. You have that choice also with anything in life. If you want to start getting in shape, you have the choice. Am I going to go to the gym today? Am I going to go for that run today?
Yeah.
Am I going to lift hard today? Or nah, like I'm going to slack off. I'm going to skip. I'm going to not go. You really need to evaluate your options, because again, God gave us a temple. We need to take care of it.
Yeah.
You are blessed with a body. Take care of it. And it's discipline, because not every day you're going to walk in. Not every day you're going to walk in anywhere. That's even days that you spend time at a Bible study. You're going to be like, this week I got hit so hard by this, or, you know, this stuck out to me, when you're reading through sections of the Bible that maybe don't make sense to you and stuff. But the discipline part is showing up and putting in the work, because it's the result that comes from that.
Yes.
Is really the reward.
Yes.
From having discipline.
I mean, I was just mentioning this to you earlier. So many people in our day and age want the end result.
Yep.
They want the reward without the work that is actually required to achieve that end result or that reward.
100%.
You hear people say, I want to be like Elon Musk, or I want to be like Taylor Swift, or whoever.
You love Taylor Swift. I'm starting to feel like you're lying. I really don't,
honestly. Nothing against her. It's not really my jam for music.
I mean, she's pretty, but I don't really listen to her music.
I'm particular with women. We've talked about this. Yeah. Ironically, because never mind, whatever. I'll just leave that unsaid.
Yeah.
But you hear people say things like that, and what they're really saying, I think, is that they want the success, the wealth, the prosperity that those people have. But if they actually had to spend a day in that person's life and go through the hard work and the effort that it takes for them to have achieved that level of success, they wouldn't make it 5 seconds.
No, not at all.
I mean, I've heard Elon Musk say he gets essentially no sleep.
Yeah.
And that guy's crazy. He does so many things. And people will look at people like that and go, well, I want that. But they don't actually want their life.
Right.
Because they don't want to put in the hard work it takes to be able to achieve those things.
Yeah, you're always going to be working.
Yep.
And even if you are CEO, business owner, multimillionaire, you're still going to be working.
Yep.
But if you're also blessed enough to have a family, you better be working harder, because we've talked about how us men, especially when you're in a father position or especially when you're a husband, let's start with husband. You should have plenty. You're going to have days where things are hard.
Yeah.
But you should have plenty of energy to go home to your wife and tell her you love her and show her that you care about her. Bro, like Lord willing, if I have a wife, I can't wait to spoil her, just straight up.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to spoil her. And I would be I know you're going to have moments of time where like maybe you get in an argument, maybe something happens, whatever it may be. End of the day, you guys love each other, but you go home and you still work. She would love to have a flower bed made on the side of the house. Give me the shovel.
Yep.
Whatever it is. The message in, I don't know if it was Titus 10 or The Men We Need, both great books. If anyone's listening and you haven't read them, especially more if you're, the Men We Need obviously is for guys. Titus 10 was pretty good in general. I think girls could read that and take stuff away from it too. But back to The Men We Need, I'm pretty sure the big message of that book was more go to bed tired. And you're working all day. You work hard at work for the Lord.
Yeah.
You work hard at home for your wife, for the Lord. You work hard with your kids, for the Lord. And then you go to bed tired. So that way you rest and you wake up and you can do it again.
Yeah.
And you should always have that love flowing through you, the river from Jesus that pours onto you. So your beaker is always overflowing. And so it's never like his well never runs dry, and you're passing that love out to other people.
100%.
That's how it is. Discipline, man. You have to come to terms with yourself and say, I got to man up and do this.
Yeah.
You can't avoid it. You are never going to get anywhere without discipline. And people, how do I become more disciplined? How do I become more disciplined? Dude, you do it.
Yeah.
You do it.
Even when you don't, especially when you don't feel like it.
That is the biggest thing people misunderstand. Discipline is not doing things when I feel like it.
Yep.
It's doing it even when you had the worst day of your life.
Yes.
And it's the last thing you want to do.
Yes.
And you still wake up and say, I have to do it.
Yep.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
Living your life like I have to do this, not in a way of where you stress yourself out and you're beating yourself up and you're like, man, I have to do this or yada, yada. There are circumstances where it's like, okay, like give yourself some grace. But if you want growth, you have to pick this up.
Yep.
You have to pick this up. I have to pray.
For those listening, he just picked up a Bible.
Yeah, picked up the Bible. Yeah, praise God. I have to pick up the Bible and read. I have to spend time with the Lord and see what he wants me to be doing.
Yeah.
How is our relationship growing? I have to spend time in the areas where I'm called to spend time in those areas. I have to go to the gym because I'm trying to get bigger, get more in shape. I have to eat a good diet, I have to get sleep. They're living your life like that automatically generates yourself over time to becoming more callous to the thought process of being, I really don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I've noticed a shift in myself that over a period of time, when I start forcing myself to do things, even when I'm up against the wall, it becomes a part of a daily schedule to where it flips in the sense of, if I don't do this, I'm going to be upset.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.